Good morning again. The topic for today is fear of conflict. Rudolf Steiner, the father of anthroposophy, whose outlooks, insights are what we follow in our trainings, he says that fear of conflict and fear of rejection are anti-humility forces. Humility is being able, the humbleness that you are with, the way you accept people, the way you accept yourself, that understanding that we have. These two are anti that. It's somewhere we don't understand ourselves fully, and because of that, we are not able to understand others either. It's the conflict arises when my expectations and my perceptions don't match. You know, um, let's say, for example, my child. I perceive my child to understand me completely. That's an expectation. So once he understands me, I want him to do certain things that I do. And when he does not, I'm upset and I react. And because I'm reacting, the child feels invisible, disrespected, not valued, put down, insulted, and then the child may either react back or withdraw. And for me, that's a pattern. Every time I tell you to do this or this, you withdraw or you don't do it right. Now that becomes an experience, that becomes a memory. So next time I want to tell something to my son, the old memory comes back. And I say, every time I've told you, he has either reacted violently or he's withdrawn. So I'm not going to tell him anymore. There is that fear of conflict that comes into picture. Now let's take an example, right? When, let's say I want a glass of water, how do I ask my son to give me a glass of water? The tone, the gesture is what you want to visualize. The same glass of water, how do I ask my friend or somebody who is elder to me in the family? In the same glass of water, when I visit my boss's house, how do I ask? In the first case with my son, it's expected that he knows that I come home tired, he knows that I'm in a pain, and he should get me a glass of water. With a friend, there is a little bit of liberty, but there is no authority. And with a boss, there is submissiveness. I mean, I suppress my thirst. I may not even ask for it. I may live through it, or I may try to get it myself. In inevitable cases, I may still ask, but how do I ask? What is the tone and gesture? Now, we want to find the reason for why these conflicts arise, right? The way we talk to my son, my friend, my boss, it is the way I articulate. So somewhere I need to develop this art of communicating with respect so the other person kind of fulfills my request at that point of time. And that doesn't mean it has to happen every time. Now, that is where this concept of epistemic humility comes into picture. You know, it is my ability. It is my ability to know that I do not understand the other person fully. Be it my son, do I understand him fully? I think I know because I have raised him, because I have provided for him. because I have trained him in certain way. But do I really understand my son? In fact, do I even understand myself fully under all circumstances? No, we are unique human beings. We are operating out of our own subconscious beliefs unconsciously. Now, the expectations are coming from those unexpected unconscious beliefs. So we need to develop this ability to say that, yes, you are my son. Yes, I have lived with you for a certain number of years, but I do not understand you fully. I'm willing to learn. Can we have a conversation? When I asked you for a glass of water, you did not want to give. After the fact, I want to know why. Not that I'm complaining about it. And then he may say, I was also supremely exhausted, or I was busy in finishing up writing that essay, or there was little bit of this climax of the movie that I was watching and I wanted to finish it. And your request came as an abrupt intervention into it. It felt like interfering. So that's okay, right? So to be able to develop that ability to say, I do not understand you fully, and I'm willing to learn. Right there, we can begin creating memories for which we do not have conflicts arising. The conflicts are coming from that old memory and fear of something exploding that I do not want to face. For example, I worked with a person. She was highly, highly organized. She is still very highly organized. That is her way of knowing things are under control. Certainty is what she wanted. And I am the polar opposite of that. I still have difficulty making list and following the list. I mean, every morning she came into work, she made list of things that needed to be done. And she said, Shubha, you do this, I will do that. Anytime there was disturbance to that flow, she would supremely get irritated. But I, being super flexible, things came up where my boss, our boss, the vice president, would come directly to me because it needed to be done at that point of time. And we had to kind of do it in hiding because she would throw out a ruckus, right? So, because of this conflict, fear of conflict that we had would break out with her, my boss would come, Shiva, can you quickly do this to me? And I could not put it in my report that I did it because it would disrupt her flow of task. And I had to stay back extra to finish the task that she had given, which is not my way of doing at all. And when I did it, I was miserable. I was not 100% giving myself. But fear of conflict kept it from not telling the truth completely. And when it builds up, I decided to quit because I could not articulate, negotiate, come to an understanding. I mean, it could be me willing to negotiate, talk, but other person may not be at that point of time where they are willing to compensate, they are compromise and negotiate. Like for example, my colleague, for her, it was life or death. If you did not go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as planned, then it was like, oh, everything would get shattered for her. She was in that frame of mind. And making a list would shatter life for me. So there was this internal tension kind of building up. That fear of conflict is more because I cannot remain me under attention. So I avoid it, fearing something bad may happen. So understanding this, understanding that I do not understand the other person is crucial for resolving these fears of conflict. You know, question ourselves, how much do I really know myself first, my immediate family members, my children who I have raised, my parents who have raised me. Let's say I put my effort and I understand them. So I understand my family, the family that I was raised in, maybe my city, this is the weather condition, this is how it is, my state, my country. Maybe I'm a very good social person. So let's say I have 10,000 friends and people from different religion and different customs, culture, but there are 8 billion people, so many different languages and cultures and traditions. Can I say that I know everything? I mean, this should humble us down. I do not know majority of the people. What I do know is probably 0.0001% because I may not know myself. And then I begin to talk with certainty that this has to be the way. And I set expectations for that. And I expect you to follow it through because I have certain power, certain position, certain status. And you see these tensions brewing in all the families, in all the workplaces. That hampers me as a person. If I have the capacity, let's say 100, and there is a fear of my spouse takes 10% away, fear of my boss takes 10% away, fear of not reaching on time and being able to articulate that takes something away. So what I essentially would have left is probably 20-25% of me to give into a project. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing my best. My performance suffers, my relationship suffers, my health suffers because of that. I lose myself in this whole process. And that is something that we need to be looking at. Am I providing a space for my child to be who they are? They may not be right. They will, again, it's my perception. What is right and wrong is my perception. Let's say there are some universal truths, universal health habits, that we have to wake up with sun up and sleep by sundown. And let's say that we agree as a family to follow this. We may miss it, so we apologize for it. We explain as to why we missed on a certain day. So there is a good reason, not something I'm doing out of fear. Many things I'm doing now is out of compulsion. I'm overworking to earn more, to send my children to the best schools, to buy a better place. It's all physical needs. What I'm forgetting is what is happening to me in the process and my relationship with my children, my family, my friends, my social circle. In the larger picture, the society collapses. At a smaller picture, I collapse out of this fear, right? So, not wanting to even participate out of the fear of conflict is somewhere not being fully present, not being fully myself. I mean, now for me at this age, for us as parents, as teachers, We have come through this, we may live through this, but it's important for me to understand what I went through, not just me, what my parents went through, what my spouse has gone through, is going through, to understand that to some extent. So I can provide that environment for my children. So basically, what we need here is that interest in the other person. Now, I could be blaming, my mother is always demanding this from me. She's never happy no matter what I do for her. She's always comparing me, whatever that is. So now that I know that this is a conflict that I'm avoiding her. I'm not talking to her because there is a fear of conflict. Conflict does not necessarily mean there has to be a verbal arguments, conflict in our thought processes. I may not tell many, many, many things because other person may not agree with it. And I'm seeking agreement. I'm seeking appreciation and approval. I need to understand these. And if I am seeking, other person is also seeking it. Possibility is there. They also have expectations. I have expectations. Can we come together to talk about this? And can we be okay with I not being able to fulfill your expectation, especially with children? Children come with certain demand, and I am not able to fulfill, so I feel down, and my child will go to my sister, and I'm jealous because my child is getting closer to my sister. I'm not looking at the big picture. What I'm not able to provide, my sister is able to provide, so my child is benefiting. But then I get into conflicts with my sister. So I want us to start observing these dynamics and be okay with I not knowing myself completely, I not knowing anyone else completely. This human being is a mystery, you know. I mean, even our own children, right? When are they 100% with me all the time for me to know every action of theirs? Even if I know only their physical movements, only what they verbalize, not what they're thinking, not what they're planning, right? And even the physical actions they may be doing, maybe not out of free will. It could be out of compulsion. It could be about the beliefs that they've borrowed. So if I can create this understanding, at least in the closer relationships that I have, where there are more conflicts, that I don't understand you fully. So when I say I don't understand you fully, it also means that you don't understand me fully. I mean, that's the heartache we have as well, that I'm unable to tell everything that I want to tell to my spouse, to my children, to my parents, to my sister. Now, I want them to hear it out, but they also have smaller bandwidths. They also are feeling the same way. So I don't understand you fully. Let's accept that. I'm interested in you. I'm interested to know about you. I accept for a fact that I cannot understand you 100% because if I have to tell everything that's going on in my life, then you have to stop what you're doing and listen to me because I have 24 hours. I go through 24 hours of something, and now you cannot be having anything. So technically, we cannot get to that perfect state, but it's good enough to say that I'm interested in knowing what you're going through, where you're stuck. Is there anything we can do? And I'm willing to be present for you, to listen to you, but not guaranteeing the outcomes. Just because I heard you doesn't mean I have to fulfill the desires that you may have expressed. Or just because you have told that I am a very angry person doesn't mean that I need to fix my anger problems. That's an inner work that I do. But somewhere, if I can build that interest in the other person, curiosity in the other person, and know that who I'm talking to is not the person they are, is the idea of who I think they are. When I look at you, I know one aspect of you, maybe 0.01% of you, then I have a perception, I have an idea of who you are, and I think you are that, but you are not that. You are that 0.001% plus 99.0009%, who I don't know. So have that humility that I don't think I know. I don't think I'll ever know, but I'm interested in you. I'll listen to you, not guaranteeing the outcomes. I will do my best, but I cannot promise that I'll be a transformed person after I listen to you. Because my son may say, you got to cook delicious meals for me. My boss may say, you need to work 5 a.m. till 12 midnight. Won't happen, but I will listen to you. I understand that I'm not doing it. Whenever there is an opportunity, I will, right? So if we can transform this fear of conflict, it is coming in our life again and again until we heal it. It's a reminder, it's the headache is a reminder for me to take rest. Loose motions are a reminder for me to give a break to my digestive system. So something like that, if you can consider that and think of it as a point in my life where I need to go from who I was to some better version of myself, a little evolved version of myself, then we'll be thankful for these conflicts that come into our life. So begin observing where you are in conflict with your own ideas, with your own thoughts to begin with, and then with somebody else. And hope we transform a little bit each day. Thank you.